Before we begin the ceremony, I would like to add a few housekeeping rules. If I can ask all of you to check now, please, if you have a phone with you, that it is switched off or on silent. Robbie and Joe have asked that you refrain from taking any photos of the ceremony. Rather, please sit back, relax, and let the professionals capture the moment. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Trinity Wines. My name is Jerry Naya, and I am the wedding celebrant. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you here today to witness the marriage of Josephina and Robert. It is clear that Joe and Robbie are finally ready to unite in love in a day that has been long awaited by their families and friends. Today we legally acknowledge their commitment to this love. Joe and Robbie met in Italy when they were in their early 20s. Robbie had decided to take a year off from his studies and work at a winery owned by his grandfather in the beautiful Tuscan countryside. Joe, on a summer holiday with girlfriends, Joe and Robbie met in Italy when they were in their early 20s. Robbie had decided to take a year off from his studies and work at a winery owned by his grandfather in the beautiful Tuscan countryside. Joe, on a summer holiday with girlfriends, decided to visit this winery one day as she had heard of its great reputation for delicious food and wine. Joe tells me that it was love at first sight, whereas Robbie may argue that he had to try to convince Joe to leave her friends and join him on a romantic evening in Florence. Upon learning that they were both based in New South Wales, they promised that they would reconnect upon Robbie's return to Australia. However, Robbie was in for a surprise when Joe took the rest of the summer off to stay with him and tour Europe together. Upon returning, Robbie decided to sell his property in eastern Sydney and purchase a beautiful winery in the Hunter Valley to pay homage to his late grandfather and carry on his legacy. This is where he proposed to Joe 5 years later. Joe and Robbie are both avid travelers, and since their initial tour of Europe, have made it their mission to visit as many of the cultural cornerstones of the world as possible. Together they have witnessed the sunset over the Taj Mahal in India, the Day of the Dead in Mexico, the Northern Lights in Iceland, a frozen Niagara Falls in Canada, and a thrilling safari in the Ugandan savannas, to name a few. They also love classical music, with Joe being a brilliant violinist, and have experienced many classical symphonies all over the world. Their love of food and good wine is something that they shared from the beginning, and Robbie has made it his life's mission to recreate his grandmother's famous lasagna and his grandfather's famous Chianti, with Joe as a willing taste tester. They have both told me that they want to pay their respects to their late grandparents, who sadly are not here to witness this beautiful ceremony, and who had a huge impact in both Joe and Robbie's lives. They also want to thank their families and friends who traveled from Italy, Jordan, and many other areas of the world for this majestic day. Joe has walked down the aisle by her beautiful mother Layla, who immigrated from Jordan to Sydney in the late 80s on her own, with the aim of giving Joe new opportunities and a wonderful education. Layla tells me that she was always nervous as a single mother about how she would make sure that Joe ended up with someone respectful, gracious, and kind. And she was wonderfully surprised when Joe introduced Robbie to her for the first time. Layla is happy to give her blessing for this union, as she tells me that she could not think of a better man to take care of her precious daughter for the rest of her life. Robbie's parents, Tony and Julia, agree that Joe is a perfect addition to their large and bustling family and will bring some much-needed grounding to the fiery lot. It is clear that this couple, surrounded here today by love and warmth, are perfect for each other and were fated from the beginning. Robbie's niece Zara will now read one of Joe's favorite poems, Love is a Great Thing, by Thomas A. Kempis. Thank you, Zara, for that lovely reading. I am duly authorized by law to solemnize marriages according to law. Before you are joined in marriage in my presence and in the presence of these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is a union of two people to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. Robbie and Joe would now like to pledge their commitment to one another in front of all of you here today. Will you, Robert Patrick Downs, take Joanne Therese Johnson to be your wife, to share your life with her, and do you pledge that you will love, honor, and care for her with tenderness and affection through all the varying experiences of your life? Will you, Joanne Therese Johnson, take Robert Patrick Downs to be your husband, to share your life with him, and do you pledge that you will love, honor, and care for him with tenderness and affection through all the varying experiences of your life? Robbie, please repeat after me. I call upon the persons here present
I call upon the persons here present
to witness that I,
Robert Patrick Downs,
take thee, Joanne Therese Johnston,
to
be my lawful wedded wife.
be my lawful wedded wife.
Joe, please repeat after me. I call upon the persons here present to witness that I, Joanne Therese Johnston, take thee, Robert Patrick Downs, to be my lawful wedded husband. Robbie, place the ring on Joe's finger and repeat after me. Joe, with this ring I will marry you today.
Joe, with this ring I will marry you today.
Joe, place the ring on Robbie's finger and repeat after me. Robbie, with this ring I will marry you today. Robbie and Joe, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Family and friends, it is time for Joe and Robbie to sign the marriage register, certificate of marriage and the marriage certificate. I would like Cleo and Letitia to bear witness. After the photographer has taken his photos, I will ask you to come and pose for some photos with the happy couple. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Joe and Robbie, please sign all 3 certificates first, followed by the witnesses. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony has now concluded. Joe and Robbie would like you to join them for their reception at their beautiful winery for a gourmet Italian meal with traditional Italian entertainment. Joe and Robbie, thank you for allowing me to be part of such a beautiful day. I wish you all the happiness in the world. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming for the first time as husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Joanne Downs. Thank you. Would you like to sign this, please, Robert?
Sure.
Thank you. And Joe, would you like to sign there as well? And if I could ask you to sign there. Sure. Okay. And then I'd like to ask the witnesses to please sign here. And could I get the groom to sign there, please? And the bride. And the witnesses to please sign it for me. Okay. Thank you.